everyone. Welcome to the Self-Healing Communities podcast, where we give you a deeper understanding of the neurobiology of trauma, healing, and human resilience. This podcast is put on by the Self-Healing Communities of the Greater Michiana region. The Self-Healing Communities of Greater Michiana's mission is to nurture personal and community well-being through the neuroscience of human resilience and the celebration of our collective strengths. We will be talking to past team members of Self-Healing Communities and how their work with Self-Healing Communities has influenced them today. Today we have Aysha Gibson and Kate Bindel, past Self-Healing Communities team members, join us, and we're just going to be talking about how the work with Self-Healing Communities has really shown up in where they are today. And I am so excited to be able to have this conversation with them. It's the first reunion in a long time for us to be together, and it's just going to be a good conversation. So, Kate, Aysha, can you just introduce yourself a little bit, what work you did with Self-Healing Communities and where you are right now?
Sure, I can go first. I'm Kate Bindel. I was a neuroscience major at Notre Dame. I graduated in 2021, and then in the year between my graduation and when I started med school, I worked at Self-Healing Communities as the Self-Healing Communities coordinator. I also was peripherally involved or involved as an intern during my senior year. And then that kind of transitioned into my work with Self-Healing Communities. So now I am in med school in my second year at Netter School of Medicine at Quinnipiac University in Connecticut. So that's me.
Cool. I'll go next. My name's Aysha. I'm a second year medical student at LSU New Orleans School of Medicine. I graduated from the University of Notre Dame in 2022 in neuroscience and history. And I also worked at Self-Healing Communities as an intern, specifically a near-P intern. So that was great.
Sweet. So how has Self-Healing Communities shown up today in your studies at medical school, in your path towards medical school? Where has Self-Healing Communities come up for you guys?
So I could talk about a few things with this, but I guess one way that it's shown up is in what I'm interested in going into pediatrics as for my career. That interest, I think, started with the developmental neuroscience class with Dr. Michael that I took my senior year, and really was just captivated by the research on ACEs and how, well, any early childhood experiences, adverse or positive experiences, how they have such an effect on a child throughout their life, and specifically on their health in the context that I've been thinking about it today as a medical student. But I think that's made me really interested in pediatrics because I think the pediatrician has such a cool position to be able to have that relationship with parents and with the kids to help teach the parents about parenting and the importance of this research, and then also to look out for the kids where they might, some kids might be in positions where a doctor needs to intervene. So that's one thing, just my future interest in pediatrics. And then the other thing, which is kind of related, is in my research, which has mainly been about childhood trauma and screening for childhood trauma in pediatric primary care. So that was a research project that I did over the summer, where I was in a community health center implementing a trauma screening and then analyzing the providers' responses to it and how the providers thought it went. So that was all stuff that I initially became interested in through working with Self-Healing Communities. And then I think working with you guys and Velshana and Dr. Michael helped me to have the will to push forward about this work is so important and there are people that would help me to get there.
Yeah.
when things got hard, because the this work is not always easy.
Yeah.
So those are my two main things.
That's awesome. That's so
Yeah. A lot of what Kate said like resonates with me. I feel like Self-Healing Communities definitely had a pertinent influence on how I view medicine and like my interests, which also include pediatrics and, really thinking about helping shape like a child's development, being a protective factor like that early on. A lot of people remember their pediatricians and, hopefully had good relationships with them. So, being able to be a figure like that. Uh, and then also to support parents through the development of their child, the neuroscience of like supporting and caring for children is just, it's so important, as we often talk about. So that is something that I continue to carry with me. And then I feel like Self-Healing Communities also gave me like a framework through which I can like imagine change, I guess, in medicine and in health. You know, yeah, I think it helps me to be more creative when, we hear about all these poor health outcomes in our classes and, um, just trying to imagine a world that's different and a world that's healthier. Self-Healing Communities really has this, like it's grounded in community health and community organizing in a sense. So being able to think that, some of these solutions are beyond me and, I can lean on other people and, other professionals to, help support, the idea of like a healthier community.
That's beautiful. It seems like you both are really trying to embody the work of self-healing communities and the mission of it. And also that in both of what you guys shared, it was very hopeful. Like self-healing communities has given you a lot of hope and strength. So that's really cool. Um, So a big part of self-healing communities is trauma-informed care and trying to increase the amount of protective factors, people who understand that childhood does matter, our experiences do matter, and they really do shape the ways our brains develop. And so to have a certain amount of sensitivity in care for every individual because everyone's story is a little bit different. So how is trauma-informed care showing up in your world in medicine? Is it not? What kind of conversations are you having? So, yeah, anyone can answer first.
I can start. I think right now in like my preclinical years, it's definitely showing up differently than what it may when I'm like a practicing physician. So that's something, specifically I see trauma-informed care. I try to practice it in my own life. I think that's what's, extremely important, now as a medical student. Um, you know, taking care of myself, giving myself grace. All of those things are super important, but then also extending that to, my classmates, my peers, my friends, checking in on people, reminding people that, we're not robots, we're not machines, but we're people. And, we have to nurture that if we're going to be the kinds of physicians that our patients deserve. So it's definitely something I look forward to learning more about, like in the hospital, like what exactly does trauma-informed care look like? I think the closest that I've gotten to that specifically is just learning how to take like a history that I guess is trauma-informed and being, sensitive about our patients' like past medical history and family history and what that can all entail. But, making sure that you're asking questions that, don't leave out the possibility of individuals facing adverse childhood experiences and, trauma and just being sensitive with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a similar thing, also being in my second year. That like I think we've been taught, maybe have had like it's been mentioned in our clinical lectures a few times of like, a way to do, what's an example? Like a physical exam. Like the thyroid exam is like you not like you touch the patient's throat and like have the patient swallow so you can feel their thyroid. And so they'll mention like it's not a trauma-informed practice to like stand behind the patient and then wrap your hands around their neck because that could be triggering for someone that has experienced a trauma related to an action like that. And so like things like that, it's like even if you don't know the patient has experienced a trauma, we want to approach all patients as if they might have. So there's like little pearls like that that we're taught. But other than that, since we're mostly not in the clinic yet, I think it's more just been, you know, like thinking about the kind of doctor I want to be and um, how I want to treat my patients. And like Asia was saying, how like taking care of myself and looking out for my um, classmates, my friends, peers, just reminding each other we're humans. This is a crazy path that we're on that demands a lot from us, but we have to remember to calm down our nervous system and nurture our humanity a little bit. So yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Shauna will be so proud of you guys in your brain care. That's so I can only imagine as a medical student how hard it is to prioritize taking care of yourself. And the fact that both of you are doing that is just very commendable, very respectable. So
Yeah, I try. I don't want to make it sound like I'm preaching everyone do self-care because there are a lot of times when I'm not sleeping enough or I'm not taking care of my body and like eating healthy and exercising because I'm studying instead. And I definitely feel more out of whack during those times. And when I remind myself to get sleep, eat healthy, exercise, then I feel more like a person again. And so, yeah.
I can definitely relate. I feel like we've all developed like a Velshana on our shoulder who can just tell us like, hey,
Like the
are you
angel of
taking your
devil
walk?
and Velshana.
Right. Right. Like, yeah, are you taking your walk? You know,
You
what's on the
drinking your
plan you're
water?
doing this weekend? Yep,
that's
exactly.
awesome. How are you celebrating this weekend? That's so good.
Yes. That question comes to my mind like, oh.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
Yeah, I have a group chat with two girls that are like in my group for my clinical class. We were talking about how like the next month and a half is just gonna be like sprinting a marathon as we finish out this second year. And one of them was like, yeah, I think we're just gonna have to give ourselves a treat every day. And so now whenever we have a treat, we text each other what we have. I'm like, doing a face mask today. This is my treat. They're like, good reminder.
That's so good. I love that. Whoa, that is very Volshana-esque.
I know, it reminds me of Elshana.
That's so good. Okay, so from your 2 years of medical school, from this work with self-healing communities, what would be your encouragement to future doctors? And also, what would be encouragement or something that you want to say to practicing doctors?
Okay. So one of them I think is more directed to future doctors, and then the other one's kind of to both. So to future doctors, I would say like people who are early in this path or like pre-med, med school, wherever, is to like find your people and find the people that you can rely on to give you those reminders of taking care of yourself and just it's a like I was saying, it's a long path that would be really lonely if you didn't have a community around you. Um, like it's been a really long year and I couldn't imagine doing it without my med school friends specifically, who like everyone understands what we're going through and lifts each other up. Um, and then both to future and current doctors, I guess it's kind of the same thing of find your people, but this is more on the like if you have something you're passionate about, find the people that you can work with to make a difference in that. I came into med school knowing that I wanted to do something related to trauma-informed care in pediatrics, and I like sought out a research mentor that would be able to help me with that. And I feel like along the way, I've like collected like professors that I know are interested in this work. And then when things get hard, like when I initially got denied money for that research project, like could go to those people to be like, should I give up or not? I mean, I didn't say it like that. Should I give up or not? But like that I could go to them and be like, okay, I don't know, is this worth doing? And then because I had sought out people that were passionate about the same thing, they're able to encourage me to like keep dreaming and keep doing. So find the people that want to change the world in a similar way that you want to change the world.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. I love this question. I think that to my future physicians, like we need you. Like we need physicians who are caring and who are competent and who will go the extra mile for their patients. Physicians who are mindful of the little things like trauma-informed care, things that add up and make the patient experience better. And something that I just always need to hear, probably daily at this point, is, it may feel hard now, but, it'll get better and it'll be worth it. And you are going to make change. So that's super important. And then, to practicing doctors, just thank you. Like, I have so much admiration for the profession. And for the individuals who like paved the way for us to be here. Like I know I quite literally would not be here unless like people carried the torch. And so, hopefully I can just do them justice and, continue making medicine better than I found it for those who come after me.
So beautiful. That make me cry, both of you. That's so good. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
I think this would just be an advice to everyone in healthcare is be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, be gracious with yourself. Because it's a high stress and busy job. And it's easy to, while you're giving so much to people in need that are around you all day, to forget to be kind to yourself. So that is something that I took from Self-Healing Communities, to always make time to acknowledge yourself and the place that you have in the work that you're doing.
Amazing. That's beautiful.
I would just like add to Kate that, it's important that you find / like make your own like self-healing community wherever you are. It really was hard to leave Notre Dame and, to leave this group, to leave y'all and, continue on my path, in medicine. But, it's something that I have to remind myself that, we can keep being self-healing and, we can bring this message to where we are. And, it's something that we're going to carry with us.
The rest of our lives, yeah. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. Today, we spoke with Aysha Gibson and Kate Bindel, who were past Self-Healing Community team members, and how this work has influenced their time at medical school and their future endeavors. We are so thankful for your time with us. We also want to encourage everyone listening to please make sure that you're taking care of yourself and others today, and we will see you in the next episode. Just a reminder that this is sponsored by the Self-Healing Communities of the Greater Michiana region. If you have more questions or want more information, please visit our website, selfhealingmichiana.org, or email us at selfhealingcommunities@gmail.com.